You know, every single time you use your phone, you leave a little something behind. And I'm not talking about fingerprints. I'm talking about data. Think of it kind of like the exhaust from a car. It's invisible, but it's definitely there. So today, we're going to show you exactly how to get a handle on your iPhone's settings to manage, minimize, and master that digital exhaust. All right, let's get into it. So, what even is digital exhaust? Well, it's basically all the little bits and pieces of data you create without even thinking about it. Your location history, what you search for, the apps you open, who you message, it's all part of it. Most of the time, we have no idea we're even creating this trail. It's just the background noise of our digital lives. But it's exactly what data brokers and advertisers are after. And that brings up a really good question, right? If this whole trail is invisible, how in the world are you supposed to know how big it is? Well, the great news is that your iPhone has this whole control panel built right in, specifically designed to let you see it, manage it, and shrink it way, way down. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with your main privacy control panel, then dive into how to stop trackers dead in their tracks, lock down your data, and manage your digital footprint. And trust me, by the end of this, you are going to feel like you're in complete control.
Everything, and I mean everything, we're about to talk about lives in one spot, the privacy and security section inside your iPhone's Settings app. You should really think of this as your own personal toolkit. And the best part? You don't have to be some tech genius to use these tools. You just have to know that they're there.
Okay, let's start with the easy wins. Let's stop other companies from collecting your data while you're bouncing between apps or browsing the web. This is all about playing defense and putting up a solid digital wall.
And our first tool is a really big one. I'm talking about app tracking transparency. Honestly, this might be one of the most powerful privacy features Apple has ever released. This is your #1 weapon against those apps that just seem to know what you're doing in another app a second ago. So here's the magic. This one feature forces every single app to ask your permission before it tries to follow you around. And by simply toggling Allow Apps to Request to Track to off, you basically tell all of them, no thanks, automatically. This one move just cuts off the data pipeline that companies use to build those super creepy, super specific profiles about you.
And I mean, just look at this. The picture tells the whole story, doesn't it? Look at that massive difference. Flipping this one switch doesn't just make you feel safer, it actually tangibly slashes the amount of data being slurped up about you. It's a huge privacy win, and it takes, one tap?
Okay, so we've dealt with trackers inside of apps. But what about when you're just browsing the web on Safari? Well, for that, we have iCloud Private Relay.
The best way to think about Private Relay is like a disguise for your internet connection. It's really clever. It sends your web traffic through 2 separate internet relays. So no single company, not even Apple, can see both who you are and what website you're looking at. It hides your IP address, which makes it so much harder for websites to track you across the internet. All right, so we've put up our shields to block outside trackers. Awesome. Now, let's turn our focus inward and make sure the data that's actually stored on your iPhone is locked down tight. This is all about what happens if your phone physically falls into the wrong hands. And the absolute most important tool for this job is a newer one called Stolen Device Protection. I really can't stress this enough. If you only do one thing after watching this, please go turn this feature on. Here's why this is such a game changer. Imagine a thief watches you type in your passcode and then snags your phone. Before this feature, they could use that passcode to change your Apple ID password and completely lock you out of your digital life. Stolen Device Protection stops that. It requires your Face ID or Touch ID for really sensitive changes when you're away from a place like your home or office. It's an absolutely brilliant failsafe. All right, now let's talk about let's call it the heavy-duty option. Look, for most of us, the standard protections are more than enough. But for some people who might be targeted by very sophisticated cyber attacks, think journalists, activists, that kind of thing, there's something called lockdown mode. And this slide really shows the trade-off you're making. Standard protection is for your everyday life, with full functionality. Lockdown mode is, it's an extreme measure. It dramatically limits what your phone can do. It'll block certain message attachments, turn off complex web features, all to shrink the number of ways an attacker could possibly get in. It's a very specialized tool for a very specific and thankfully very rare kind of threat.
So, we've blocked the trackers and we've secured the device itself. The last piece of this puzzle is just a little bit of maintenance. You know, privacy isn't really a set it and forget it kind of deal. It's more of a practice, and these next tools are perfect for helping you audit and maintain your settings over time.
So your first stop for any privacy checkup should be the App Privacy Report. This thing is basically a transparent, itemized receipt for your data. It shows you exactly what all your apps have been up to behind your back.
Seriously, by diving into this report, you can become your own data detective. You can see which apps are hitting up your location or your contacts, you can see how often they're doing it, and you can even see all the sketchy third-party websites they're talking to in the background. If you see a weather app that's accessing your contacts, you can shut that down immediately.
And finally, we have a really powerful tool that's designed for more sensitive situations, especially ones that involve personal safety, where you just need to quickly and completely cut off access to your information. And it's called Safety Check. Safety Check really has two main jobs. There's the emergency reset, that's the big red button. It immediately stops sharing everything, like your location, and resets privacy permissions for all your apps. Then there's Manage Sharing and Access. This one is more of a guided tour that lets you review, step by step, who and what has access to your info. It's an incredibly powerful tool for taking back control when you need it most.
And just like that, we've gone from just understanding this vague idea of digital exhaust to mastering the actual tools that put you in charge of it. You see, the whole point isn't to be scared of our technology, but to be informed about how it works and to feel confident that you can manage it.
I think this quote just sums it all up perfectly. Yeah, flipping a few switches is a fantastic start, but real digital privacy comes from checking in once in a while, using tools like that App Privacy Report, and just making conscious choices about the apps you install and the permissions you give them. It's an ongoing habit, not a one-time fix.
So we'll leave you with this question to think about. You have the controls now. You know how to find the settings. You know how to manage your footprint. The power is officially in your hands. So, what are you going to do with it?